to use a light assistant or not. Actually, the natural light ain't too bad, but I'm going to use this light anyways for this video. And look at that. Boom. I don't even need a light assistant because I can just set it on the shelf and it looks fine. So, but that's not the moral of this. I just put that as a title because I had a little issue with setting this light up for this next shot I'm going to show you. This is from behind the scenes from an engagement session I did just recently. And let's just jump right into it. So first I'm going to start right here in the video. This is actually from another video I made for a silhouette. And if I put on the camera here, this is the photo that I did. So basically I was walking by this rock, and I'll put it at the ending credits. So if you want to watch this silhouette video, it's in my videos. Easy to find. But basically I was just walking by and I saw this rock in between these trees, and I thought, oh, that'd be kind of cool. Just put a light down real quick, I think it was either half CTO gel or full CTO gel behind them, and just blast the rock. And so the reason I explain that, let me fast forward now, is because the next location I walked over to, I forgot to take it off. I didn't take it off. And not that it made a huge difference, but like I would probably have preferred not to have it on. But I'm going to explain to you why in a second here. So, but anyways, this other location, one thing I want to point out is there is this little ledge right here and these rocks up here, as you can see. And first off, I was asking them, like, all right, I just want to make sure, like, you guys feel safe climbing up this rock because, like, they're dressed up. She has a little bit of high heel, like, higher shoe, and stuff like that. So I want to make 100% sure, like, I could walk up with ease with a stand in my hand without using my hands, so it wasn't, like, crazy. But, always ask your couples, like, if you're taking them on a rock or something like that, like, just make sure they're okay with it, because if they're not comfortable, it's like we can always get another photo. It's like I don't want to make them uncomfortable and feel at risk to make them like climb up a wall or something like that. So first off, I just want to say that. And then, because even here it looks like, where am I going? It's like there's a drop off here. There's all these trees here. It's like I found this. I came out here earlier that day and I was just kind of like, oh, I'm gonna walk up here real quick, and I'm glad I did, because there is like you can't see nothing there, but if you start walking, it kind of opens up and there is a little pathway here. So little hidden spot there. So I kind of like that. And then you come out on this rock, which I really wanted to bring them out on. But anyways, so it is kind of a tall, as you can see, it's kind of a jaggedy rock here. And I wanted them to stand up here on the flat part. But for me, with this light stand, I'm going to have to set it down on this rock below, which is kind of farther down. And I'm going to have to extend it high enough so it surpasses this ledge. And then it surpasses their bodies and is lined up with their faces. So I pretty much had to extend this 12 foot. It's a 12-foot stand. And I had to balance it on this rock. Luckily, there was no air. There was no wind that day. No air. There was air. We're not on Mars, even though it kind of looks like it. But there's no wind. So if there was wind, I probably wouldn't have done this without an assistant. But because once I got over here and I started setting it up, like there's a drop off right there. Like if the wind would have came, it would have fell down and like crashed and shattered my light for sure. But see, as you can see, I have a mag sphere on it, and I had my CTO gel, which I forgot to take off. Usually I'll just take it off and put it up here where that grid is. It's already strapped on. So I can just easy access, take them off, to put them on, But I did leave it on because I was more worried about getting my stand set up. So, I mean, and I can tell you, like, if you don't know why I use CTO gels, like I like for this background shot that I did, like it's obvious because I wanted it to like be a really warm background, kind of almost fiery look, behind him. Like that's a no-brainer. But like, say for this shot here, like for the background, it was at the beginning of golden hour. The sun was just starting to go down. So like things are starting to warm up a little bit. The sky is, you know, in golden hour, that's what it is. It's just more of an orange CTO kind of color. And that's what the CTO gel is. It's an orange light, orange grid modifier. And so now since I left this on, like it's going to warm up the couple when it shoots on them. So their skin's gonna get a lot warmer and the temperature is gonna be a lot warmer because it's an oranger light, like a tungsten bulb, you know, in your house. And to adapt your Kelvin in your camera, I can turn it up or down to make it cooler or warmer. Well, I'm gonna have to cool off the picture just to get their skin tones back to normal because I shot some warm light on them. Well, that's going to cool off the whole picture. So the whole background, the sky's going to get bluer. Everything's going to get like cooled off. So in this case, when it's starting to get warm, but it's not quite, you probably wanted to actually put a CTB gel, which is a bluer gel, which is a cool gel. So in that effect, it would really make their skin white, cold looking. And so if I warmed up the image to correct for their skin color, it would really warm the background and make it just more of a golden hour, you know. So, but so that's the explanation why I use CTO gels for sunsets, sunrises, or just in the midday, you know, just to give it a little bit of color, you know, because sometimes they're just, you gotta work with what the sky gives you. So this just gives you more options to create something with a little bit ease, you know, so.
This is the part I didn't try out yet. See if my stand will stay on this rock. I didn't have a stand with me earlier. Oh yeah, it should stand. So you guys are gonna be up here. And then I think that should be high enough.
Looks crazy on this camera.
I'm so glad it's not windy because I think it's gonna stay there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that thing will.
Have enough surface area to get knocked over.
Oh yeah, it's about the right height too. Huh?
Yeah, look at that. So that's 12 feet fully extended. I think I actually lower it down. So maybe down to 11 foot or something because it was actually above their head. I could have just leveled this point down a little bit more, but I figured pull it down a little bit more. It might make it a little more stable.
I might lower it. Oh my gosh. Anything for the shot, right? There we go.
Yeah,
a little
went down about
high.
a foot or so.
I didn't think it would be high enough, but all right, perfect.
And as I
Stay
set
there,
it
buddy.
down, it kind of wobbled.
Okay. So, see, it's pointing there, so I might have you stand probably about there. I might, let's see. Let me see where that light's at before I get you.
Yep.
So, you're going to probably stand like this, where I'm at, and then you're going to be kind of facing towards the light, and then he's going to have your armor.
Okay.
So, perfect. The only thing, I just don't want you blocking the light from her face. So when you're standing facing this way, you're going to be kind of at an angle. So put your arms around it, like link up a little bit, or V up.
Wait, this way.
Yeah, you can stick your arm in there. But then you're going to open your chest out a little bit more to me, and then you're going to have that side profile. Yep. And I'll direct you a little more when I get down here.
See, and the reason I did that is just so he's not in front of the light and blocking it on her face. So he's pushed back just a hair, and she's in front. So she's turned sideways, so the light's hitting her, and he's behind her a little bit. So he's still catching the light, but he's not blocking her light. That's always key. And, you know, I always take a test shot here, and I think I'm using my 50
Perfect.
right here.
So, and then only thing I need is Marcy, just kind of look maybe over towards those houses so I can see the side of your face.
That was the first image.
This is crazy.
And then you can't see her face, so I had to just look, and there you go. So, the boom, then now you can see her face. And this is one I delivered here.
Bless you.
I'm just going to pause it real quick here. Kind of show you. So you can see how the light just directs on her, and then he gets this kind of side, more grungy light as he's looking at her, you know, which I kind of like that for the guys. Just a little bit more edgy. and then she gets the more direct light because she's the woman. She's the lady. She's the beauty of the bunch. Not taken away from him. Like, no, these guys are awesome to work with, and I'm so excited to do their wedding. They were so fun. They were just so. I mean, I could have sat out there all night with them, but you can kind of see here. So yeah, so if I go back to, this is a raw photo here. You can see how warm their skin is from that CTO gel, just that little extra pop. So of course I'm gonna have to cool it off a little bit, and therefore the rest of the scene will cool off. So let's see if I can go to a color one. See how cool it is, like on the mountain sky and like on this rock right here, just because we cooled it down a little bit, just so their skin wasn't so orange, which I like it. It's good photo. So, but anyways, let's go back to the video.
Awesome. I'm gonna have Ben. I'm gonna have you unlink your arms and just kind of hold their side with your right arm. So just, you don't have to. You can kind of back up a little bit so you're not. Or no, the other way. And then your hand, put it on her other side of her waist. So just kind of bring it back. So yeah, perfect.
Yeah, the reason I did that just because he was stretching so much right in this photo that, you know, he's almost like bending too much. Like his arm's getting a little stiff. So I kind of wanted him to loosen it a little bit.
Like twisting your, like this. yeah. That's the one. That's the one.
Oh, he was kind of goofing off here. I caught it. I did catch this one.
That's perfect.
That's
There's a
awesome.
photographer right in front of us. I got somebody in our group tapping on the shoulder when we turned around. This is
And then
the
I
shot of the
included
night.
some raw photos, the delivered photos as well. So like,
Oh, it comes
What's the
to
lagging
freeze.
into
so you can just see it kind of loosen his arm, so he's not wrapped around, and then her hands loosely on his.
Marcy, I'm gonna have you, whack your arm just a little bit, Ben. There you go. And then put your hand on his forearm. There we go. That's
Like that.
beautiful.
And
Then
then
maybe hide your left hand behind him. Perfect.
Yeah, because sometimes people put their arms like around. So if, say, his other hand was coming around here, you just see fingers there. Or same with her. And you know, when that's the case, they call them like ghost fingers. So I always look for that too. Or like if somebody, I'm walking out to actually get farther back to take another photo with my 7200, I think. So just to let you know. But ghost fingers, like if she put her arm around his neck and just had her fingers up here, like it just kind of looks kind of strange, you know, like you just see these like fingers coming up. We call them ghost fingers. You don't see where they're coming from. So sometimes I see that and I'm just like, yeah, just pull your hand and hide it behind them. So that's why I did that. And this is why I love off-camera lighting,
A little darker.
is because like I couldn't move around. Like look how far I am away from the couple. I got a 7200. My light stand, you know, is way down there. You know, if you look, they're pretty far away. But now I can go anywhere on the property as long as my signal can reach, and that light's gonna go off. It's gonna pop them out of the scene, and it's just gonna give that more dramatic look. If I didn't use lighting, you know, if I did a wide shot here, they would probably get a little lost in the picture because, especially if I lighten up the photo to their skin tone, like everything else will be so bright and blown out in the sky, and it just, you know, for me it's not that great of a look, you know. But here, like you can just see the darkness, whoops, around, and it's just more dark, and they kind of pop out of the scene. So like my eyes, whoop, they just direct right to them because they're the ones that are kind of popped out, so to speak. So, but see, here's a perfect example. I actually left this photo in here. This was the flash didn't go. It was just a test shot, but I lightened the photo up enough just to show like, so their skin tones are about right, you know, for temperature and for brightness. But look how bright everything is, you know. And now if this was a far back shot where it's just like the whole scene, all you would see is just like his black shirt maybe would kind of show, or his pants because it's a little darker, but like she would kind of be lost because she has a white shirt. You know, it would just kind of blend in with the scene because everything's just lit up, you know. But with a popping a flash on it, you know, it's just a little different. you know, so.
There we go.
See, like this one's very underexposed, but you know, there we go. So just look at the difference here. So this picture compared to this picture, you know, see what I'm saying? Like they are the center of attention in this picture. Like and then maybe it's just my style and I like that better, but for me it's just I love bringing them out of the picture and making them the attention instead of just everything else. You know, everything else is second to them because this is their shoot, this is their engagement session.
Oh, a little bit hot. All right, I'm gonna do that one more time. Just kind of look this way, mate, or Marcy. I almost called you Macy. I'm gonna get a wide shot here. Beautiful. All right, guys.
That's a wrap.
Cool. I found a new spot.
This is a great spot.
This is nice. Yeah.
All right. And that is it, guys. And I'm just going to go end with this. I'm going to go to full screen here. So these are obviously both raw photos here. All three of these. And then that is the one I delivered out of the three because this one, she would just put her hand up. This one, I think it was the same photo. It's just, yeah, I liked his expression more on this one. He was smiling. But so the end result, you know, as you see, like now that I'm in a wider stance, like if there was no light on them, like they would just kind of be blended in. You know, first of all, I'd have to brighten up the photo really bright because they would just be dark. Like look at the shadow on this side of his face. So they would be that dark, their skin. So I'd have to brighten up the photo very bright. So all this would just be noticeable. Everything would just be showing. And it would just take away from what I was trying to accomplish, which is the end result, pop them so they're kind of lit up more. See, everything else, you know, it's a little darker here. I kept this little light, you know, the rock's a little light there, you know, it's just a nice scene, nice warm in the background, but yet they are popped out of it. And all I had to do in post is just run a tool and just take out, you know, that light stand. So going back to the title, light assistant or no light assistant, I don't think there is any wrong answer because light assistants are awesome for the photographer and for the assistant themselves. Like for instance, if you are somebody trying to get into the business and trying to just, you know, get your foot in the door and you're a photographer and you're up and coming or you're just starting out, you're trying to learn, you know, look in your local photography area and just kind of see like who you following on Instagram, like what are the local people that you really just like, wow, someday I want to be like that guy or I want to be shooting photos like him. Reach out to them, just ask them if they want to get a cup of coffee or just tell them your story. You know, maybe when you're talking with them, you can ask if, you know, you mind if I assist you in an engagement session or just kind of tag along. I'll carry your lights, I'll carry your gear, you know. 9 out of 10 times, like photographers are, I know, like in my case, like for this shoot, like if I was in the parking lot and somebody came up to me and were like, hey man, I'm, you know, trying to get into wedding photography and I see, you know, you got all these light equipment, looks like you're doing an engagement session. You mind if I just tag along and I'll help carry your bags or carry this? And if they don't look like they're like, you know, serial killers, you know, yeah, let's do it. I mean, I guess that's a bad case scenario because this is just somebody coming up to me in a parking lot. It's not like, you know, I even know who they are. But you get the picture. If somebody reaches out to me on Instagram and just says like, hey man, you know, I'm a photographer. Here's my account. You know, this is what I'm trying to do. You mind if I just tag along with you sometime? You know, yeah, let's do it. You know, you can hold my light stand. You can do whatever you want. I'm an open book to help you learn. And I think I've benefited so much just in the small time I've been in the business, and I've had my business for a little over a year now full time, and I've worked with so many great photographers, and every time I work with another photographer, whether they're second shooting for me or I'm shooting with them or assisting them, it's like I always take a little piece from what's going on, and it just helps so much. So assisting a professional is like, that's a no-brainer. If you want to get your foot in the door, like just reach out. You just got to ask people in your local market and stuff like that. And as a photographer, yes, it's always a plus having somebody help you carry your stuff, hold your light stand so you don't have to worry about trying to set it just perfectly on a stand, perfect angle, and then you walk back, you take a photo, and you're like, oh man, it's a little too high, so you got to go back over and adjust your light stand. I feel like I've been doing it long enough to where I feel like I'm pretty good at getting it right the first time, which that is one benefit of not having a light assistant, is because I'm tuning in to my speed of using lights in wedding situations and stuff like that. So, I mean, there's benefits. That's a benefit for not using one, is just because when I don't have one, I feel very comfortable doing it on my own because I've done it so much. But the title, light assistant or no light assistant, I'm just going to say they're both 100% great. So there's positive things in both directions. So anyways, I'm done. I've been talking way too long. So yeah, let's shut this thing down. So yeah, like and subscribe. If you want to see any content coming up, like always, just comment below and just let me know, and I'll see if I can get it posted up. But yeah, hit that bell so you're notified for my next video. And that is a wrap, people. Thanks for coming on, and thanks for joining.